Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with my first project pan update in a long time. As you know, I've had a little bit of a break from YouTube. I have still been posting, but I've been having pre-filmed videos since the end of June. I think since around the 24th of June I've been having pre-filmed videos go up. I filmed one video, which was my last video that went up. That was like my birth story, because if you don't know, I did give birth to my daughter, and that's why I haven't been filming for such a long time. So I posted that, but apart from that, I am very rusty in filming. So this again is going to be my first project pan back. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I don't forget anything in this update, but I think hopefully it should be fine. And today we are updating my pan face palette. So I will let you know what progress I've been able to make this past month. Of course, I haven't been wearing as much makeup as normal, but I'm still really happy with the progress. So I'm going to jump in and share that with you. But before I do that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So the palette that I'm panning this year is my MAC Flashing Eyes Extra Dimension Skin Finish Trio in the shade Light. And you can look at what it's been looking like. It has three shades, one kind of whitish shade, a more bronzy shade in the middle, which is the bigger pan out of the three. And then lastly, like a kind of nude with a slight pink shift highlighter. All three of these are highlighters. This is a highlighting palette, of course. And my goal with this is to try to use up as much as I can. Originally, I was hoping maybe to use up all three shades, but I've been realizing when I've been using this palette throughout the year that the formula just isn't gonna give me what I want. It's kind of like that type of gelée baked formula, which means that it's moving a little bit slower. So right now my goal is to pan on all of the shades and finish at least one of them. So you again can see what it's been looking like. It is a really nice palette. I've been rotating through the shades. In the beginning of the year, of course, the bronzy shade was a little bit dark for me, so I mixed that with the white a couple of times. But for the first half of the year, a lot of my focus has been in the last shade. So yeah, you can see that. And here is what this palette looked like last month. I had already hit pan on that final shade, and I was making some good progress on the palette overall. I have been using this palette as much as I can in the past month, but again, the usage is not going to be quite as high as normal. But this is what it looks like today, just so you can see how much progress I was able to make. So again, this is the palette now. So you can see right there. I will also have the pictures, of course, up so you can look at the comparison month to month. But I'm going to go through the shades in order as I always do, and talk you through where I'm sitting right now. So first up in the palette is this white shade right here called Glitzed Out. This is one that I haven't used that much. I mean, I have used it, but I mix it with the darker shade whenever I have used it, because it's just a little bit light on its own, and especially right now. So this is my least used shade in the past month, but I have been continuing reaching for it. I am kind of determined to try to incorporate it as much as I can, because if I want to hit pan on it, I do have to use it more than I have been. So I did reach for this one 8 times in the past month, and again, whenever I did reach for it, I did mix it in with the darker shade just to get a more, I don't know, like my skin type of color, to make it more wearable for me. So 8 use on this one, but not too much progress because I do use it quite sparingly whenever I use it, especially right now in summer. Then in the center we have this shade right here. This is like the bigger pan and the deepest shade as well, and that is called There She Glows. In the past month I have reached for this one 9 times. So not quite, well, I haven't said it already, but I do have an unofficial goal to reach for these shades 10 times each per month. But of course in this past month I haven't been able to do that, and I kind of understood that too, just because I was going to wear less makeup, and I knew that was already a fact before updating this palette today. But 9 uses on this shade, and despite not reaching for it the 10 times, I have been able to get a lot of use out of this one. I don't know how much you will be able to tell, but I did get a lot of use out of it one of the times, especially when I wore this, and that is because I wore it on my body. So I did go to a wedding actually just a couple of days ago. It was the first time we left my baby, but we just went for a couple hours. It was so much fun to get out of the house, but it was like the first time I got properly done up. I mean, I've done my makeup like now. This is kind of like been my go-to look somewhat whenever I have done my makeup, but I did it a little bit heavier today just because of filming, but otherwise I've been doing like quite quick makeup. But I did do a super glam day, and since I was wearing a dress and again went to a wedding, I did want to highlight. So I did use this highlighter on my legs and on my like collarbone and stuff like that. So I know that I got a lot of use out of this shade specifically that day, because that is what I decided to use, because it is like the Diva shades and it kind of gives that bronzy glow, which was really nice on the body. So I'm going to try to continue using it that way, because again I do use a lot of product whenever I do that. It was the first time actually doing it with this highlighter, and I really liked it. It was a little bit like sparkly, but very, very beautiful. So again, I'm going to try to continue doing that whenever I do have my legs out, and especially if I'm going out to meet people or go to events, stuff like that. Then we have the final shade in the palette, which is my most used shade, and it's also my most used shade this past month. That is that kind of nudish pinkish highlighter, and that is called Out on the Tinseltown. And this I was actually able to reach for my 10 times, so very, very pleased with that. And I think that this one might have expanded a decent amount like the pan, and also you can see maybe that it's getting quite low in there. Like, it's not close to being done, but looking at it I can definitely see that it's quite a lot lower than the other pans, and the reason why it has a lot of movement is because I've been using this one as a blush topper, because it does have that kind of pink sheen. I'm wearing it that way today, although I did do this makeup quite a few hours ago now, so it's a little bit worn. But with this highlighter, and I've been reaching for it a lot. Again, it's a blush topper, and I've been using a bigger brush, like a blush brush. And I'll show you it. I've been using like something like this, so a fluffy brush, and I kind of just like swirl it all around, and then I just put it on my cheekbones. And doing that, I have been getting a lot of use of it, and it's been wearing down the pan and more evenly. So I'm very, very happy, and it also means again I'm using more product in every use. So despite not having the highest usage in this palette this past month, I do believe I have used up quite a bit of product because of how I've been using it, and I already knew that I was going to be able to use more of this in summer. Obviously with that bigger one, when I do have my like shoulders and things like that out, it's going to be really useful. And then with this one, I'm really happy that I discovered it as a blush topper, and I do prefer like glowier cheeks in summer, so it's also something that I'm using that way more now than I would have in winter, if that makes sense. So very, very happy with this palette and where it's sitting. Of course I do have a lot of product left, but I am hopeful I can finish this one before the end of the year, and we'll see with hitting pan. But I mean, if I keep working on them and stepping up my usage with both of these, there is still a chance. So that is what this palette is sitting. Before I wrap up this update, I do of course want to go through the weights, so let me just pull that up and talk you through it. So this palette at the introduction of the year weighed 99.90 grams, and it has an advertised weight of 9 grams. And this was mostly untouched when I rolled into this project. I might have reached for it once or twice, but honestly not much more than that. So I'm counting 9 grams as like how much product is in here. And in order to finish it, I would then have to use 0.75 grams per month, which is, you know, quite a lot higher than I have been, spoiler alert. But in quarter one, I was able to reach for 0.53 grams, so you can see already there that is a lot lower than what I would have to use if I was going to finish it. And then in quarter two, I was able to reach for a bit more. I was able to reach for 0.79 grams, but again, very much lower than the average I need to finish per month. So at the last update, which was end of quarter two, this palette weighed 98.58 grams. So that is last month's update. And today I was actually really surprised. I had to reweigh it, and I weighed other things too to make sure that this palette wasn't just throwing it off. But I do believe this is the accurate weight, and this one weighs 98 grams exactly today, which means that I was able to finish up 0.58 grams, which is my highest month by far. June was actually my highest month before that, which was 0.37 grams. And otherwise I've been between 0.10 and 0.25 grams every month, so a tenth to a quarter of a gram every month. And you know, over half a gram per month is way higher than my average. So I was very surprised by that, but I do think using this as a blush topper and this one on my body has really, really helped with that. So I am super pleased, and I will continue using this palette that way and hopefully be able to get more weight out moving forward. And because I was able to use up so much this past month, I now have a total of 1.9 grams finished out of this palette, which, you know, is still nowhere near finishing this palette, because again it has 9 grams in it. But if, let's say, I kept I always kept speculating how much is in these pans, but I was thinking before that maybe this one has 5 grams and then these ones would have like 2 grams each. But it could also be like this one has 4 and these have 2.5 grams each. But basically with almost 2 grams used up, I would think that overall this palette I have like one of these smaller pans almost finished, and you know, if I was exclusively using one of these, that is kind of what I'm thinking, and that is very, very hopeful to me, and hopefully again I will be able to get some good use out of this one. I don't think I will wear makeup every single day moving forward, not by any means. I've been like wearing makeup once or twice a week over the past month, so not much at all, but I'm gonna continue trying. And since I'm planning to get back into filming and posting like normal and I don't have any more pre-film videos, I will at least have to do my makeup a couple times a week to film. So I will make sure to use this one as much as I can. Almost every single time I do my makeup, I will try to incorporate this one one way or another. So we'll see how I get on with this one, but for now I'm very, very proud with my update, especially considering I didn't wear as much makeup as normal in the past month. So that is going to be it for this update today. I hope you enjoyed it. I am so excited to be back with product pan updates. Yeah, I'm just really happy to be back filming. I missed it, well, I mean, I did miss it, but also I've just been enjoying my kind of baby bubble, and yeah, it's a bit kind of a, you know, bittersweet thing. Like, I am excited to be back, but it also feels like I'm getting back into my normal life, I guess. And again, it's been nice just being in my little bubble, but it is good that I have YouTube. Obviously I'm not working, I'm on maternity leave still, so it's going to be good to have this being my normality, and again being back filming, and I have no plans on stopping. So as long as I have the time to film, as long as my baby naps as she should, I will continue filming and posting as I have been, and try to stick with my every other day upload. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys!